Oh, greetings. This is Trev from Online PC Learning. This is our second tutorial in creating a brochure in Microsoft PowerPoint, and there's some very cool features going on with this project that we have here. To date, we've set the template up as you can see here. We put all the backgrounds in. We just go back and have a look at them all, exactly the work we've done to date. We've put the dark blue one in. This is the 3 options for the inside of the brochure. And this is the orange one that we've created, and again the 3 options for the inside of it are as follows: a full poster, 1/3, 2/3, and then the single 1/3. What we're going to do in this tutorial is add the images and the text and get it to the point where it's nearly complete, and you can change the text to suit yourself. We'll be using text boxes for the text, and I'm going to just use clip art for the images, but you can use your own images. I'll show you the methods and some of the tips and tricks that we're going to use to make these images and text really pop out on top of this brochure. Alright, well, let's get going with our first image. Now, we'll go to the front page, or actually the outer page. I guess there's an inner and outer. This is going to be page 1, and we're going to put the image in here for our first page. So we're going to insert, and we'll use clip art again, insert our clip art, type in exercise, and just scroll down until you find, I'll show you the image I use, but again you can use any image that you want. Now here's the image we want, so click on the image, click inside your document to pop the image in there. Now just make it a little bit larger so you can see it, because we want to actually crop the background out of this image. With the image still selected, under Picture Tools Format, go to Remove Background. And look, it's almost done it for us now. It's taken almost all of the background out. That arm needs to be put in, and we need to enlarge the area. So we'll just enlarge the area. I think it has actually put the arm in there now. So it might have done the job just fully for us. If it didn't, you just click up here to mark areas to remove, mark areas to keep. When you're happy with the finished results, click Keep Changes. And there's our image. Now I'll show you something really cool about Microsoft PowerPoint. You can invert this image by going to Rotate. You notice the arm facing that way. Let's flip it over. Now the arm is facing this way. Now that's not easy to do, and marvellous program that we have here. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. We want to just make this a little bit smaller, this particular image. So hold down, or click on the image, hold down your Shift key, and then drag the corner. You see when the 2 arrows come up, drag the corner down until it's the size that you want, and pop her up here, right where we would expect her to be. Now with that still selected, you've got to be the one to choose this, but that's too dark for me. I want this to shine, pop forward. So with it still selected, go to Format, and then go to Corrections over here, and we'll leave it set to there, but let's go down and add some contrast or some brightness and take away some contrast. So let's choose that. Now, I'll just show you the difference. Look at the image now, and just look at it as I pop over here to add a bit of contrast. See how the image come forward, brightened up. You can just choose what you want there, but that suits my needs for this particular document. Now let's go to the inside cover here and add our next image. You've still got clip art open. We'll grab the image here and click inside to add it in. Make the image bigger so we can see what we're doing with removing the background. Click on the image, Format, and Remove Background, and then increase the size of the frame to encompass the whole body. And I think it's done a marvellous job here. These are very easy to do because they had grey backgrounds. We'll go Keep Changes. Now we have the background removed. Pop her over here to the left and do exactly the same as I showed you before. Format, Corrections. You can choose what suits you to make the image just make a little bit lighter and come forward on the document. Now what I want you to do is grab that image, right click and copy it, and go to our next one down and paste it in. And then to our third and paste again. On the third one, hold the Shift key down and make the image nice and small, and we'll pop her down into that area of the document. Well, while we're here, I want to spend a moment and show you how to create a halo effect like this for behind the image of the lady. Now, why do we do that? Because it makes her stand out. How do we make a halo effect like that? Look, it's so easy. I'm going to show you. All you need to do is go to Insert, grab a shape and grab a circle. Bring your circle over to here, put it like that over the page, click on the Format tab, go to Outline and No Outline. What we then can do is go to the Shape Effects, Soft Edges, and we're going to make it very, very soft on the outside, probably 25 points or so. So we'll do that for now. Right click on the shape, choose Format Shape. When it comes up here, we'll go to Gradient Fill, and we want to have white on one side and white on the other side. And we'll choose Radial for the middle. Now, the one on the left, I'll pull this out of the way so we can see the effects we're going to get here. We're going to give a transparency to. Notice the transparency moving it, and you can just adjust that to exactly what you want. That's a transparency there of about 60%. Right? And the one on the right here, there's no transparency at all. And close. So that's how you make a halo effect for behind your image. Go back to your second slide, which is slide 6, and we're going to add these supporting images in here. Now, it's a good idea to try and make these uniform in their dimensions, so to either have them square or rectangle or whatever, but don't have them all over the shop. So what I'm going to do is go into the exercise and just choose the images that I want to put into here. So here's one. We'll click on that to add it in. And just before we go too much further, we're just going to make this a lot smaller. So we'll just pop it right down here. You notice that image reversing there as I do that? Fantastic. All right, we'll pop that in. Let's grab a few more. Grab this one here. And we'll also grab this lady down here. Grab these two talking, and this one here as well. Just make that quite a bit smaller. Hold your Shift key down, just so it's manageable. Now what I want you to do is just go to each image and just make sure that it's approximately square. Now you can crop it if it's going to distort too much, so we might highlight this image here and just pull that in a little bit here to make it approximately a square image. That's what I want for this document. And then we'll go crop. Do that for each of the images. This one here particularly, we pull down the top right down, and we'll get rid of some of this area down the bottom to make it a square image. Do that for each of the images. Now what I want you to do is, with your Control key, highlight each of the images, right click the image, and go Format Object. So we'll choose Size. Where it says Lock Aspect Ratio, untick that, and just to get us started, we're going to put in here 5 and then 5 over here to make them 5 by 5 centimeters, and close. Alright, so now we have them 5 by 5 centimeters. They're exactly a square document. While we have them there, let's add a border to these images. So we might choose this border here. Alright, that looks fine. And also, while they're highlighted, and we're going to, no, we can't get it. We'll just unselect them, do each one at a time, just go to Corrections, and try to just make them a little bit brighter, a little bit so that they come forward on the document. So Corrections, sorry. And each one will be a little bit different. You can choose how you want to do it. That one looks alright, and this one here will just add a little bit of brightness to it as well. Okay, now I'm just doing this very quickly. You'd probably spend a little bit more time than this. Now get your images and pop them into the places you want them to go. So I'm going to put one image up here, and these two as my two main images. We'll pop them over here, say. Now what I'm going to do here is just click on the second image with my Control key down, hold my Shift key down, and just make these two images a little bit bigger. And also, while they're here, under Format, we want Picture Effects. We'll go 3D rotation, and we'll just give them a little bit of a twist around, like that. And with this image, we might be able to rotate it. I'm sorry, I had both selected. We'll just deselect, select this one, and we'll rotate the image. Okay, so now we've got them going in different directions. And our 3D is going in opposite directions as well. Pop this smaller image in here, hold your Shift key down, Now a lot of this just becomes personal or personal taste. Now you notice it's behind this image. Click on the image, go to bring forward, bring to front, and that will pull that image up. So rearrange your images as you like. I'll put this one over here and that there, just suit your needs. They're actually too big. And we'll just, with our shift key down again, make them just a little bit smaller, and we'll add some 3D effects to those two pictures as well. Okay, this one we might just pop around the other way, rotate. Alright, well you're getting the idea of what we can do and how to do it. That's how you would set your images up or your pictures up throughout your document. Now just grab your cursor and just highlight all of those images, right click and copy them, move to our next sheet here and paste the images in. Alright, so we might just get this image and this image here by holding down the control key, copy, and we'll move over here to our back document, we'll pop them in here, maybe move them over to there, and we need to make them a little bit smaller, so we're going to make them smaller and pop this image up onto that one. Alright, so you can get the idea of how to move this stuff around. We'll put a couple more images just down in here. Now go back to our front page, and we're just going to put a little bit of word art into here. So it's just a matter of going insert, word art, and then choose the word art that you want. We'll just choose an orange here, pop it in, and then change the font till you have it looking like this. So I'll put the word art on 2 lines. I've changed the font to a new font. The font that I've chosen is Brochure MT, and I've made the word fitness smaller than that, than the main word go. So we can just put that in on top of our little logo for some branding. So the rest of the document is going to be made up with word art and text boxes. So we've got our background, then we've got our shape, and now we want to put text boxes into it. So we go insert, and then a text box, and we would drop the text box in where we want to put the data. So let's put some data into our text box and format that. So now, here is our document. We've added all our images, we've added our text. This is a word art up in here. These are text boxes that you can highlight and format your way that you would want them to be formatted. On the Home tab, choose the style and the size of the font, and so on, and add the text that you want. Until eventually you're going to end up with your front page, your information on the back. And there's no point in me typing all this in for you. You can see this is just information I've grabbed from somewhere on the web. And then you can put in the second and the third. And for your other brochure, the one that's in the darker colours, you just do exactly the same as I showed you for this, and you'd add your text and images in exactly the same way. So very interesting. This type of brochure really does grab attention. I'd encourage you to play around with it. Go to the website, get these 2 files, and then change them around to suit yourself. And what we're trying to help you to do here is to learn how to manipulate your document, how to use the Microsoft PowerPoint program to make your documents really stand out in the crowd. This is Trev from OnlinePCLearning.com. Thanks very much for listening once again, and bye for now.